Hey man, say man, it's your boy Ink in the Brain, man. We back at it like a bad habit. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Salute to the new subscribers, man. Appreciate y'all. We just hit 500, so we halfway to a thou wow, you know? But yeah, today we're gonna talk about protective custody, right? And I'm gonna give y'all a story about how my one of my cellies uh, checked in. You feel me? Checking in basically means that you roll it up, right? Basically, protective custody, aka rolling it up, aka checking in, aka PCing up, aka going out bad, right? That's what that's like the when you hear these terms, it basically means you chose to do time around a bunch of people who sexually take advantage of people, touch on kids, so on and so forth. Basically, people who can't walk the main line just as a regular general population prisoner. You feel me? So that's what we're talking about today. Um, the reason I'm bringing this up is not to talk crazy about my ex celly or nothing like that. It's really for y'all to realize, like, bro, prison is no joke. And if you out here playing gangster, you playing tough, like you tough and hard and all that. Well, be prepared to go to the main line and really do time around all the real, the killers, the kidnappers, the people who killed their parents, and people who, what I mean? These are the type of people you're going to go around with, man. If you're going out bad and you decide to PC up, bro, it's going to mess up your whole prison career, right? Or career, quote unquote, right? So we're going to talk about it. So when you first hit the county jail, right? Say you get sentenced, right? Okay, so for me, so boom, so I get sentenced, right, to my 2 years, right? And I know I'm about to go to reception and then hit the yard, right? But boom, so I go to the county, and they put you through different things like different little pods and process, just basically get you processed, right? So I'm in there. Mind you, I'm high as a kite because I ate a 200 milligram edible on my sentencing day because I was like, man, I need to be high for my first my first day in jail, man. I was like, man, because I ain't gonna be able to smoke for a minute, so I popped the edible. So I'm lit. You feel me? By the time I get into the jail, so the lady asked me, so you know what I mean. So I'm going through the process, right? I get to the process where they're gonna ask you some questions, right? Basically, verify your name, your date of birth, and all that. Have you ever been arrested before? Do you feel like you need to hurt yourself, or do you feel like you want to take your own life? And then they're going to ask you a question that's going to decide your fate for the rest of your prison career, which is, do you feel like you need protective custody? So I'm like, man, hell nah. No, I'm good, right? Not that I'm like some big bad gangster and like I know, like, oh, I'm about to put me where the killers is at, put me where I did. Like, nah, I wasn't on nothing like that. It's just like, man, I already know the deal about them like those like the sex offender yards. That's where they gonna put you out here. You feel me? If you PC up, bro, you going to a SO yard. That's what we call it, SO yard, right? And I'm like, man, hell nah. I'm not about to do time around no people that touch on kids and all this crazy shit. So just put me in GP, man. I'm good. I'm straight. I ain't tripping. Like, I really wasn't tripping off that, right? But some people, they do get scared to be around killers and stuff like that, right? But me, I'm like, I ain't sweating it. So boom. All right. So that just sets the tone, right? My mindset was already like, man, shit, it is what it is, man. Just let me knock out these 2 years. I'm gonna come back home. You feel me? But I definitely ain't doing no time around no child molesters or people like that. So boom. All right. So fast forward, right? I'm fast forwarding through my jail experience. Fast forwarding through my reception. So boom. So now I'm on the 3 yard, right? I'm on Cheyenne, 3 yard, right? At this time, one of my first celly, he had went home, so he only had to do like 90 something days in the joint, and then he left. So he left home. So I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling, right? This is by the time this happened. So this is March of 2021. So by this time, you feel me? I'm like 100 days into being on a 3 yard. So I'm kind of, I'm in my groove now. I'm kind of, I know the rules. I know who I'm doing time around. You feel me? I'm cool with a couple of brothers in the yard and shit like that, right? It's all good. I'm chilling. And then my celly went home, so I had the bottom bunk, and then I had the top bunk to myself. They call it having a 2-story house. when your celly go home and he was on the top bunk, you got a 2-story house, right? And it's cool having a 2-story house because you don't have to worry about like how do I put this? Like my first celly, he didn't have a TV. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of times I let him watch. Well, he didn't have a TV for like a few weeks, and for the few weeks I let him watch my TV. So we like sharing our area, watching TV, right? Which I don't really mind, but I'd rather just have my own area, watch my own TV, watch my own shows. You feel me? But it's just prison etiquette. You gonna share your TV with your celly if you don't have one. So I'm enjoying my 2-story crib, man. So one day I'm on a rest day from rec, because blacks, we don't have to go to the yard like you're supposed to, but you're not like blacks, they're not gonna force you to go to the yard. Now they will clown you and call you like a fat ass, or like you will get kind of clowned a little bit if you don't go to rec, but you're not really required to hit rec like all the other races are. So so I'm in there chilling on this day. I'm sore, so I'm resting up, and I'm watching TV, and I look to the right because they cracked the gate, and then it's a new person arriving with the mat. Now he looked like he was Mexican, or like some kind of like he kind of looked like Puerto Rican, right? So I just figured, okay, maybe he's a Chicano, or he just some Mexican dude, I don't know, but that ain't gonna be my celly. So he walked in, and then he got, they give you a little slip to show you where your cell is at, right? So I peep him, he walking towards me. I'm like, huh. I'm like, okay. So it turns out this is my celly. Now he was, I'm gonna call him T, right? T was, he was like, matter of fact, he was Puerto Rican. He was Puerto Rican, and he was from Brooklyn, but he grew up around blacks. You feel me? So like he was gonna run black, right? Which is acceptable. You know what I mean? Like the blacks tolerated out here. Like if you grew up around black people, or if you want to run black, you identify with black culture, then it's good. You feel me? As long as you was that way in the county. If you was in the county rocking with the Chicanos, and all of a sudden you want to run black because you're scared of the program that the Mexicans do, because they got a tough program. You feel, like I said, they're gonna make you work out all this shit, right? Other than that, no, like the blacks, they ain't gonna accept you, right? But boom, okay. So he pulled up. I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? And shook his hand and shit. I'm like, okay, it's my celly. And then he's like, I'm Puerto Rican, but I run black though. And then he's like, I'm from Brooklyn, grew up in the hood, right? I'm like, oh, that's cool. I ain't tripping. Like, I wasn't really hella politicking like that in prison, y'all. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Like, I really wasn't tripping. If it wasn't a riot that happened, bro, I'm just gonna be chilling. You feel me? Now, if a riot pops off, you don't got no choice but to take up for your people, right? But as long as it wasn't nothing like that, I ain't tripping. I ain't politicking. I don't care. You feel me? I got 2 years. I'm to the crib. So, but you know what I mean. But we did. So he tossed his paperwork though. You feel me? That's just how I go. Like when you new celly, you gonna check the paperwork just to make sure he's not in there on no weird shit. So, and he just volunteered. Like I didn't even ask him for the paperwork. He was just like, oh yeah, my name's T. I'm from Brooklyn. You feel what I'm saying? I run black. Here's my work. You know what I'm saying? So I read the paperwork. He was in there on some dumb shit. Got 3 years because like he was on probation for something, and then he had tested dirty. So then they brought him in front of a judge, and he cussed the judge out. And basically the judge was like, okay, you want to have this attitude? Well, take this 3 years. So that's what he got 3 years for, right? And but one red flag was when I went under my bed to get my paperwork. I'm like, here, brother. I'm like this is what I'm here for. You feel me? But it's aggravated assault, deadly weapon. What you want? He's like, oh no, you good, bro? I ain't tripping off that. I ain't tripping. I'm like, hey, what? He's like, no, it's good. I don't need to check your paperwork. What you want? I'm like, okay. And I put it back under my bed, but that was kind of weird because, like I said, yo, cellies, bro, you gonna want to check his paperwork. You know what I mean? Like I said, just to make sure he's not in there on no weird shit. Because if he is on some in there on some weird shit and you didn't check his paperwork, it's kind of like you they're gonna look at you with a side eye. You feel me? Now, like I said, the blacks program is a little bit more laxed. When nobody really did nothing to me per se, but if it was another race like a white boy or a Chicano or something like that, and you didn't take his paperwork, he turns out he's a chomo or a rat or something, then it's gonna be bad for you. You feel me? 9 times out of 10. But okay, boom. So long story short, man, I'm trying not to make this video too long. But I could tell that dude had a problem with doing his time. Uh, Not only did he not have no money or no TV, which I let him use my TV again, which was kind of annoying, because he always want to talk and shit during my shows, and I'm like, bro, you just talk too damn much, man. But not only because of that, but he couldn't accept the fact that he got 3 years over his loud ass mouth, right? So what I mean by that is he would always like I would always catch, and he was kind of off mentally too. I would catch him talking to himself like, man, fuck. Like, man, this is some bullshit, man. Like, man, this punk ass judge, what he want, right? So, so the morning that he checked in, right, just kind of speeding through it, I just want to give y'all a little background about who he is, where he's from. Oh yeah, and here's the kicker. He was like 51 years old, hella old, but he looked real young in the face. Like he looked like he probably 28, 30 years old in the face. You feel me? Real young, young looking dude, but he was really like 51 years old. So he's having time with accepting his time. They're having a hard time accepting his time. And the day that we woke up for chow, right? Because so we was on lockdown at this time, and they would come by. The COs would yell out, "Stand by for chow!" Right? So morning chow is like 5:45 in the morning. So they like stand by for chow, and then people would get up, put their clothes on, shit like that. But me, I never really did that. Like when I heard stand by for chow, I'm still under my covers, and when they say turn out, chow, turn out, that's when I get up and put my shit on and leave. You feel me? But yeah, so they holler, stand by for chow. So he get up, get down, and get dressed, and then he's sitting on the chair behind me, so I could hear himself. He talking to himself, right? He's like, man, fucking bullshit, man, bitch ass judge, what they want, man, it's some bullshit, right? So I could tell he woke up on some bullshit, right? And oh yeah, mind you, this dude is like a gangster, right? So in Brooklyn, he already did time. He did like 4 years in New York. He hit Rikers Island. He told me about how he was on the streets putting in pain, robbing niggas. He got shot before in his leg. He showed me this bullet wound in his leg. He got like a rod in his knee and shit like that. So we not talking about no square dude that just like a nerd who just happened to catch some time. No, we talking about supposedly full-fledged gangster while he was in Brooklyn. You feel me? I forgot to throw that in there. So boom. So I know he also like his mood ain't all the way right. But fellas, if you, on a side note, if you have some time to do, accept it. Don't be holding a grudge toward the judge. Don't blame the police. Shit, you shouldn't even blame the snitch who told on you. If you got told on, you know what the game was when you signed up for it. You know there's snitches out here. You know the police is out to get you. So you better accept your time. It's gonna make your time go by a lot smoother, and it's a lot easier to accept your time when you know what you did was wrong and you just accept it. But he wasn't on that. He was wanting to blame the judge and shit like that, right? So boom. So we get up, we walk to chow. Now this morning, it's a full house, right? Because even though we on a lockdown, like they let the whole side of the yard go to chow, right? So we go to chow, man, and we in there, and it's 4 seats to a table, right? So it was me, it was the homeboy Tall Mike, the youngster, and then it was my OG partner that was doing 25 life, sitting on the right of me, and then my celly T. So we eating chow, and T, he's just mugging, like he's mugging behind me, and I peep him, but I didn't really think too much about it. But he just staring, right? And then he like, man, this motherfucker keep looking at me all crazy, bro. I'm finna set it off in this motherfucker. So at first I thought he was talking about a CO. Turns out he was talking about one of the white boys that was sitting at the tables. Every race has their own table, so he's looking at the tables to the back. He was looking at one of the white boys. Now apparently this is the same white boy that he had a little disagreement with. Maybe like a week into when he hit the block with the same white boy, because like he was an artist. My say was an artist, right? And he even drew a portrait of me, a real good portrait, like a solid portrait of my face, right? Because basically he to grind and hustle up some money. he was like, "Hey, Celly, can you let me draw a portrait of your face and I can advertise it to the different, everybody on the block so I can get some money." I'm like, "All right, cool, for the free." I'm like, "Cool," but I was still gonna pay him though. Oh, that's another interesting part to this story too, right? At this time, I owed him some money, right? Because, well, not technically, but I was gonna pay him some money for doing my portrait, right? And but it was gonna be in store, and I was gonna give him next time store hit, I was gonna give him some store to pay him, right? So I had to throw that in there too. So, but yeah, he got into an argument with the same white boy over some. I can't remember specifically, but he was drawing. He was drawing in an open cell behind him, and something had happened. I don't know if he was being too loud or something like that, but they got into a disagreement, and then apparently he called him out for the fade and he didn't take it. But I didn't know this until after, right? Like way after, right? But boom, all right. So yeah, you looking at me like we finna set off this. I'm like, bro, just chill, bro. You know how the COs are, bro. Like, man, just chill out. And he keep on eating. Couple minutes go by. He's like, oh, he's still looking. He said, man, he got me fucked up. So this is what he does. He gets up. He gets up, right? And I'm eating. I'm like, it was like slow motion. He gets up. He walks in front of the whole chow hall. And I'm literally like, and he's like, hey, listen up, motherfuckers. He's like, anybody in here got a problem with me? Can see me, I'll beat the fuck out of you. Yeah. Again, anybody who got a problem with me? Yeah, I'm Tone from Brooklyn, man. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. I'll smash any one of you motherfuckers. He just start going bad in front of the chow hall, right? And we like, oh, hell no. He did not just disrespect all the different races in this chow hall in front of everybody to see, right? So we like, oh, hell no, right? So then one of the OGs, Rafiq, shout out to Rafiq, super solid dude, he's doing like 15, 16. He get up and he grabbed him up. He's like, hey, nigga, what the fuck is you thinking? He was like, hey, fellas, I apologize on behalf of Ken Folk, man. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's not in his right mind right now. He don't know what's going on. He's like, but he's gonna find out. He's like, I promise y'all, he's gonna find out. And then it was like, oh, okay. And then everybody like, we're back to eating, right? Because that moment could have definitely sparked a riot for sure. Like if Rafiq or one of the other blacks didn't get up and do something about that shit, it would have sparked some shit, right? Maybe not then right there, but if that situation wasn't rectified ASAP after that, like when you get back to the block, then word gonna spread. Oh, dude from the blacks jumped bad, and the blacks didn't do shit about it, so now it's us, right? So he snatched him up, he sit him down, and then Tall Mike, he left because he was like, man, I don't want nothing to do with this dude. So now it's me, Rafiq, my celly, and then my OG partner, right? And he's just talking to him, right? So we just eating, right? And he's like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? He's like, man, I don't know what you think this is, man, but you don't ever do that shit, ever. Man, what the fuck you doing, man? Disrespecting everybody, calling me. Man, if you had a problem with him, you're supposed to see the head of the white boys first, and then set up the one-on-one. You don't just get in front of that, right? He tearing into him, right? And I'm like, damn. And he's like, but okay. He's like, but you want to fight? He's like, you want to fight? All right, bet we got you on that, right? And then he get up and leave, right? So then, and then he start copping pleas, right? He's like, oh yeah, you're right, my bad. He's like, yeah. And then on the side of me, right? Cause I'm like, when that happened, I kind of talked to my OG partner. I'm like, hey, bro. I'm like, are they gonna expect me to smash this dude out? Cause he's like, cause I'm thinking, cause he's my celly. I'm thinking I gotta be the one to DP him. But he's like, nah. He's like, nah. We already got people lined up for that. Which turns out it was Memphis and this other dude, SK. And Memphis and SK are in the seats next to us. So Memphis, he turned around after Rafiq digging on me. Turned around, he's like, yeah, T, bro. He's like, you were all the way out of pocket for that. Like, you are not supposed to do that, man. What the fuck is you thinking? So now T realizes, oh damn, like I done messed up. Like I don't know what the hell he was thinking doing that crazy shit, but that could have sparked a riot, right? So basically, Memphis and SK was gonna DP him, just nothing too crazy, but they was gonna take him into the mop closet and you know touch him up, make him bleed a little bit, Because, like I said, he put the whole black car under attack in front of the other races' eyes by doing that shit. So he's like, yeah, but he's like, yeah, you'll be all right though, man. But yeah, when we get back to the hall, man, me and SK, man, we gonna just talk to you about something real quick, man. So now he's like getting scared, right? Because Memphis is a big ass dude, right? He's not tall, but he like 5'9". I think he was 225 at the time. And SK, he big too. He tall though. SK was like 6'2", 2 something. You feel me? He got a janky leg though, because he got hit in the leg with an AR round. So he walked with a limp. But they was gonna piece him up. So then, okay, so chow's over with now, right? So we all get up, and then they tell me, they're like, hey, line up in the back towards the blacks though, because everybody line up before we walk off, right? So the blacks line up last, right? So I'm in the very back of the line, and then you got the blacks in the beginning of the line, and then Memphis, SK, and then my celly, they like towards the back, right? So I can hear them talking to him, right? So they walking, and then my celly, he copping, please, hey man, I'm sorry y'all, man, real talk, I was out of line, man, I apologize, I didn't mean to do that, you're right, I should have just approached him as a man, you know, but they was like, oh yeah, we accept your apology, yeah, it's all good, man, yeah, we forgive you, man, but yeah, man, we just gonna have a little talk with you know what I mean, when you hit the cell block, you feel me? So they not budging, like SK and Memphis, they not budging, they played it cool, oh yeah, you good, bro, yeah, we understand, you know, things happen, man, but yeah, you know what I mean, we just gonna talk to you. So they walking, right, and then he tries to run, like not full-fledged run, but he tries to get out the line, like cause he sees like his fate coming, right. So he tries to walk, and then Memphis he takes him like this, like run up, like no, where you going, baby? Where you going, P? Come on, P. Whoa. And then he like, oh shit, right? So we circling around the yard, and it's morning wreck, right? Turns out the head of the blacks, Hugh, shout out to Hugh, another solid dude. Matter of fact, Hugh getting out soon. He was like on a long stretch too, but he had like 5 years left at this time or something like that, 4 or 5. Blood dude, right? So we spinning around the yard, and we head back to our dorm at this point, and then Memphis see Hugh. He like, hey Hugh, hey and he ran up to the gate. So Hugh come over. He's like, man, what's happening? He's like, hey man, we gonna have to handle some business, man. You know, Memphis, he from Memphis, so yeah, man, you feel me? Whoa, man, yeah, man, this dude jumped out of bounds, man. He went in front of the whole chow hall, called all the races out, said he's gonna beat everybody up. He was like, what? All I heard was beat his ass. Yeah, beat the fuck out of him. Beat his ass. Make sure you feel that shit, right? So, and he loud as hell, right? And I know, like, everybody in the line was hearing this shit, right? Because they all know the situation. You feel me? So he like starting to get scary now, because he realized, like, man, you know, I don't know if he knew that it was gonna be a two on one, or he felt like it was gonna be something bigger than that. But I mean, in all reality, I mean, look, a 2-on-1 is a 2-on-1, but you're not getting stabbed in the neck or hit in the head with a lock or nothing like that, right? But maybe T thought it was gonna be something way more serious than what it was gonna be, right? Now he wasn't gonna get beat the hell up, but that's just gonna be it. Shoot. And then I was gonna give him some soups to, you know what I mean? Because when the DP happened, like within the kinfolk, right? It's really just to keep in order the structure of the program. You think we're not really trying to like kill you, and it's just common courtesy. Like if you get DP'd, right, your celly gonna give you some soups. Make sure you got something to eat, something like that, because you can't go to chow hall with your eyes all black, and then they gonna lock the place down and check people's knuckles and see who beat you up, right? So I was gonna give him some food, you know, make sure he was good and everything, right? But yeah, so man, lo and behold, man, we get up to the cell block, right? The cellies, or the CO's about to let us in, and then, you know, cause mind you, he's still in front of me. He's like, nah, he's like, I'm not going in. And then SK and Memphis was like, man, what the fuck you mean you ain't going in? He's like, man, I'm not going in there. And then Memphis was like, well, you know what to do. So yeah, y'all, you know what he did. Man, CO, yeah, I can't go in here. They're like, man, what? He's like, man, I can't go in here, man. So he didn't tell him why, but he was like, I can't go in here no more. You feel me? So basically, we got in the cell block, and then everybody laughing about this shit, like, nah, man, what happened? Like, bro checked in. he checked in. I'm like, yeah, man, he checked in, right? So I get to my cell block. I'm like, and then SK walk up. He like, hey, Icky, yeah, man. Since he checked in, bro, we taking all his shit, man. So yeah, man. Make sure you can get whatever you want, but I'm gonna get the majority of his commissary. But you know what I mean. But if you want something, just let me know. Because I'm like, because I get it. Memphis and SK was the one that was gonna DP him, so of course they gonna get his shit and his commissary. But just out of courtesy, me being in celly, like, man, look, if you need something, let me know. You feel me? But I'm gonna keep all the big shit. But I wasn't tripping. I already have big store anyway, so I ended up basically just taking his protein shakes and I think some seasoning. He had like some seasonings, like Cajun. He had the what's it called? Because you can get season. He had like chili powder, so I took the chili powder, and then Memphis SA took all the rest of his stuff. Took his headphones. Now he didn't have much, and the little story he did have was from people he sold. Like he did artwork for people, and they paid him in commissary. You feel me? And then, which leads me to my last point. Brad didn't make it to that next store day, so I basically got my portrait for the free. You feel me? But yeah, moral of the story is, fellas, and now he got to go through time around the chumos and all that shit, man. So moral of the story, fellas, is look, don't play gangster if you're not a gangster, right? Because if you do play gangster, bro, you're gonna be around doing time with real gangsters, right? And real gangsters don't like suckers who do shit like check in and pop shit in front of everybody, put us in danger, and then when it comes to getting your little 2-on-1 DP in the closet, you scared, want to lock it up and go check in with the chomos and the rapos and all that, right? That's not it, bro. And now you got that stain on your name, right? So say if he get out and get back booked and gotta go do time again, shit, bro. Somebody find out you was on a